Chris Statlander is facing Jamie Hayter in the semifinals of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. You've been watching every individual in this tournament very closely.
And why shouldn't I? These are the preeminent individuals in our entire industry. So ladies, good luck. Pound your flesh, rip your tits, but don't you dare get any blood on my pearls. And remember, you are now watching your feature presentation.
Actually, speaking of feature presentation, this weekend in Hollywood, you're going to be appearing on the red carpet for the TCM Film Festival.
Yeah, some new little science fiction film.
It's The Empire Strikes Back.
There's not an empire big enough to strike this back. But remember, I'm a lover and a fighter, and I'm not just going to spend the entire weekend cucking around, so before I yank Ben Mankiewicz, I have an idea. Attention, slot tarts! This Saturday, on collision, I'm going to have a championship eliminator performance. So if there's any bitch that has the itch...
Well, the queen is back, and you know I like to fight. So, let's do this.
No, darling. Let's make cinema!
The last 17 days I haven't found a way not to end up at your place. I say the first time is circumstantial, the second accidental, the 15 after that were definitely casual. The last 17 days you've made me really uncool. You ruined my hot girl summer. It's casual till it's not. We were doing it for the plot. I'm supposed to be emotionally unavailable. Oh God, I've gotta call this off. Say that it's what I want. Flirt with a stranger, drink till I'm wasted. Do what you're doing, you're single and fun. I've gotta make this stop. Say that you're not the one. Flirt with a stranger, drink till I'm wasted enough to be texting you drunk. You up?
Live from the Man Studios in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You've tuned into the Generation Evolution for Thursday, April 24th, 2025. Happy NFL Draft Day here in Wisconsin. I'm Blake.
I'm Christian.
I'm Mark.
Who's barely paying attention right now. Yes, it is. And you are live. You're live on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitch. And welcome to the show. We have a jam-packed show, so I'm not going to stall too much here. We have a lot to get to today.
Mm-hmm.
But it is draft day here, and we've been dealing with it in Wisconsin.
I just looked over at the run sheet. Oh my God, one. I'm sorry. I just laughed at a part.
Oh, just trust me. You haven't. You're just seeing a paragraph of it. You're literally seeing a paragraph. It is a jam-packed show today. So I'm just going to quickly say this opening song is the brand new Beth McCarthy. He released a new EP, and two of the songs on there I absolutely fell in love with. And this is "You Up" by her. I absolutely love this song, so I wanted to make sure I opened the show when we got back to normal music after our crazy week last week. So I'm just sharing our link to a couple of places people can join the show. Anyway, let me cut the music. So we have a lot to get to. So today's show is pretty much going to be us going through everything that we did not talk about in our recap shows last week, because everything we talked about last week were immediate reactions to the Wrestlemania Stand and Deliver. Today,
WrestleMania Stand Delivered sounds like a whole pay-per-view by itself.
There was an and in there, but I see your point. Today, we're going to go through everything else we didn't cover. Not everything else, because there's stuff on here we're not going to talk about. Like, we're not covering any of the political stuff that happened. We're not talking about The Rock, because that was just annoying.
What did The Rock do?
The Rock's been on Pat McAfee this weekend. It was annoying. Okay. I forgot to take that off the screen. But we're not going to get into that. Go listen to, if you really want to hear someone really annoyed by The Rock, go listen to the Daily Greco over Busted Open, who he called out, by the way, which really pissed off a lot of people this week. And Wade Keller, who's been really hammering home how ridiculous The Rock is. So I'll tell you, go over there if you want to hear about that. We opened up with Tony Storm. Any reason to open up with Tony Storm is good enough reason for me.
Fair enough.
I love opening with her stuff, so I had to tonight.
Slap tarts?
There's so many things in there. That's why I didn't even edit it. I just left it. It was exactly the way it was until she got carried away. Renee is fighting for her life every time one of those segments is going on. She's fighting for her life. It's absolutely hysterical. So we're going to start. Before we get to the WrestleMania Week Independent shows, which we're going to open up with here, we're going to start with Triple H. Paul Levesque. I mentioned this last week on, I forgot what show. We had so many podcasts last week, I lost track of what day I said this on. But I know I forgot what day I said this on. But he was interviewed and he was talking about the IWC, the Internet Wrestling Community. I absolutely hate the IWC. I know that's saying a lot. I think we do a show on the internet, but I hate the comment sections in the wrestling world. So to say I applauded Paul Beck's comments is an understatement. Is an understatement. But people took this the wrong way. We're gonna play what he said. It's about 30 seconds. I'm like, keep in mind, this is 30 seconds of like a 25-minute interview. So keep that in mind.
Internet's not real life, right? And the bitching and the fucking complaining that is on there, it's not real life. Like you could read the internet and it'll sound like this thing is dead. It's not, like, and I'll use Cody as the example. Cody's already jumped the shark. He's dead as a baby face. He's like, really? Because I don't know. I'm in an arena with 10,000, 15,000 people every night going ape shit for me, selling the most merchandise. He's like, yeah, like, but sure, whatever you want to say on the internet.
True.
Christian thoughts?
True. Oh, true.
I hate IWC. I always have. Dad, your thoughts?
From things I've read this week, all the people on the internet want to crucify him. They want him fired.
Dude,
they want
all that.
Yeah. And then WrestleMania 41 was the worst WrestleMania ever. That's coming from the internet.
The internet's stupid.
Womp womp.
People. Okay, I'm going to say this. This is why you stay out of the comments. I sometimes go in the comments just because I like bringing it up on the show. That's literally the only reason I go in the comment section sometimes. Literally the only reason. But reality, stay out of the comment section, people. It's just not worth your time. Unless you're commenting on this show, please be nice and we'll talk about it on the show. But anyway, if you're watching us live, please comment below. But other than that, don't read the comment sections because the comment sections suck in every level and everything. Like today, I saw a picture of LA Knight and his wife up there, and the inappropriate comments in that comment section were terrible. And his wife's hot. Don't get me wrong, but goddamn those inappropriate comments. And the other thing I was going to say, the Joe Hendry came out. I've never, for how much the internet loved Joe Hendry about 3 or 4 months ago. Boy, did they hate him showing up at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck, they hated him showing up at Mania.
What was one comment? Oh, from a person that basically shouldn't be here, you spend more time in WWE than in TNA.
Which makes no sense, but whatever. He's headlining on fucking Sunday. By the way, I forgot something. So my dumbass, because again, I was in WrestleMania mode last week. I didn't look at the calendar, and I'm so used to TNA PLEs happening on Fridays. I forgot that a Rebellion is a pay-per-view, not a PLE, and it's on Sunday, which is why we're not previewing it tonight because it's on Sunday. Me and Chris will take care of that on Sunday because we have so many things going on tonight. So I'm looking at the calendar, I'm like, oh shit, I messed that up. Good thing I messed that up because we have way too many things to talk about as it is today. We have way too many things to do as it is. So anyway, I just want to bring that up to start the show. So I promised everybody, originally, so a little bit behind the scenes. Originally, I was going to do a show with John on Wednesday this week to go through all the independent shows like we did last year and the year before. I didn't have time. I was very busy with work. And I'm glad I canceled that because I actually got home from work like 2 or 3 hours later than I planned. So I'm glad I canceled that idea. So I said we're going to talk about it here. And I figured you guys didn't watch nearly as much as I did. So it's going to be a lot more fun to talk to you guys about this stuff. Because you guys have no idea what I'm going to talk about. That's the best part for me. You guys have no idea what I'm going to bring up. But we're going to start them. I forgot to write the show down. But our old friend, David, Dad.
Yes.
I love you. He was a referee in Vegas for the Pandemonium Wrestling show.
Our old boss, David?
Our old boss, referee DM Stevens. Here's the pictures, by the way.
Ooh.
Our boy David in the ring. He refereed 2 matches. This is from the Mo versus Masha Slamovich match. I was on YouTube, so like the 15 minute that the stream was actually working, I was able to go in there and grab these pictures. I tried to watch the show. The stream sucked, and I never went back to watch the show. I tried to. The card was great. I tried to watch the show live, but it didn't work. And I was watching the Defy show at the same time. So
okay.
All right. Okay, let's start with okay, so we're gonna do this. I'm gonna go through the show at the start, and I'm gonna give my thoughts, best match, first match, and then some WTF moments that happen on these shows, and you guys can comment along as we go. Okay. This makes life easier. I'll start with the WWE ID tournament. I was so excited for this tournament. I was so excited for this. I watched Evolve. I was very excited. I watched 2 tournament match shows. If you ask me the format of this tournament, I can't even tell you. I can't tell you. And I watched 2 shows from 2 different companies. I watched the DCW show and I watched an SFW show. There's no brackets. There is nothing. All I can tell you is that the men's side is double elimination. The women's side is a round robin tournament. Who's in it? No idea. What's going on? No idea. What are the standings? No idea. And I watched everything, and I can't tell you.
But then, how can you call it a tournament?
Thank you for making my point. Thank you for making my point. I was so confused by the format of this thing, and I watched 2 shows of it. And there's non-tournament matches. There's play-in matches. There's just set a bracket and have a tournament.
I know the plane matches are normal matches, but my dumbass immediately went to people fighting on a plane.
I said play-in, not plane.
Oh, my bad.
I said play-in.
Well, my joke still stands. I'm just gonna wait for someone to do a 619 on the goddamn airplane.
Why not? They threw Rey Mysterio off a roof once.
They're gonna pile drive someone out of the airplane door all the way 100 million feet to the ground.
That kind of
Kristen's going off on a tangent.
That kind of night, guys. It's gonna be that kind of night tonight. There it is. So I just wanted to throw that
Now
out
it's a
there.
show.
I have 0 clue what the hell's going on in this tournament, and hopefully, actually, you know that part? I have no idea how to watch matches after this weekend. I have no idea. I'd love to tell you. I don't know. Oh, maybe when they tell me what's going on, because I literally went to the WWE ID Twitter page, which is actually fantastic for finding the matches out for the weekend, and they're not even explaining it. So I can't even. I go to the source, and they're not explaining it.
What a great show.
So, really? This is where we're starting this. Okay, so that's number 1.
Okay.
Dragon Gate. They did 2 shows. I only watched one of them. Kind of time to watch the second one. And the one I watched was the Thursday night show. It was called Rebirth. The Wednesday night show, which was called Rebirth. And it was the first Dragon Gate show in 10 years. Dragon Gate USA show in 10 years. I didn't realize it's been that long since we had a Dragon Gate show. Best match of the night went to Rich Swann and Willie Mack versus Ben K and Heo and the Garbage Pail Kids. This match was so much fucking fun. It was so
Garbage Pail Kids.
But you know what? Think about who the first team I said was Rich Swann and Willie Mack.
Yes.
It was such a fun match. It was so entertaining. I needed that match. I kind of needed it because I was kind of struggling after watching the tournament. So I needed that match. You know? Worst match. So last week, you were here, Dad, for all the previews for all these shows.
Yes.
You're full of that. And John was super excited for Ho Ho Lou. Haven't heard that name since the Cruiserweight tournament. There is a reason why I haven't heard that name since the Cruiserweight tournament. The match against Rance Maddox was so bad, but it doesn't even qualify as even close to the worst match of the weekend. It doesn't even close.
God.
Trust me, I have some bad ones. And then I don't know why I had to watch Ultimo Dragon in a wrestling match in 2025.
Wait a minute, I thought Ultimo Dragon retired.
I thought he was dead, honestly.
I thought he retired within the last couple of years.
Well, he was wrestling on Wednesday night last week.
At least it wasn't Jushin Thunder Liger from the New Japan show we went to, who couldn't even go over the goddamn.
That wasn't really him.
I know.
That's why we didn't bring it up and review the show. That was a fan. That was a fan.
That was a fan that was dressed.
No, he was in full Jushin Thunder Liger gear. I have pictures of it. Full gear. The front row was fucking crazy.
I saw that.
He the hell out of Naito.
He tried going over the barricade and was busted.
I invited him to. I invited him.
Yeah, and then he jumps over and comes in. And
you're talking like you were there. You're talking like you were there. You were not there.
No, I saw the pictures.
The pictures don't do it justice.
He didn't jump. He tried.
That was a picture I took. He didn't jump.
He tried.
He climbed and he almost fell. He almost fell.
Twice. Tried to get over and then try to go back over.
And then they had to go back because the referee realized, why are you here? The referee was looking at me like, why are you here?
They got a chair for him and everything.
It was so bad. Anyway, okay, let's go to Defy. I watched this show live on Thursday. After I put out with those shows, I watched this show live. This was actually a good show. It's actually not a bad show at all, honestly. This was a good show for a live show. Can I just give Fight TV a lot of credit? I'm back in the old days where the streams were so bad, so terrible. And the streams, every stream on Thriller was amazing. Every single one. The shows may not have been great, but the speed and the streams were great. I can't complain about that at all.
They finally tweaked their system.
It was fantastic this year, streams wise. Anyway, because this is the only show I actually watched live, and the stream was fantastic. That's why I'm sure I clarified that. So the 5 wrestling living proof. I got a couple of great matches on this show actually. Kenta versus Mance Warner.
Ooh,
that was awesome. That was so much better than I thought it was going to be. It was so much fun because Kenta could be hit or miss, and he was definitely hit on this one. It was really good. And then Clark Connors, ELP, and Man Like Duries. This match was fantastic. This match was the main event, and it was fantastic. Like, oh my god, might have been one of my favorite matches of the entire weekend. I really enjoyed this. The worst match. If we can, the Rock and Roll Express, please retire. Can they please retire? Oh my lord! This is going to be the first time I'm complaining. This is not going to be the last time I'm complaining about them on these shows. They faced off against Midnight Heat, and I think I may have fallen asleep. Not to be followed up by having to do with an Evil match right afterwards, because it was Evil versus Michael Uku. And boy, this was also, why did I have to watch this in my life? Why did I have to watch this match? I may have walked out and made a sandwich and came back. I may have actually made a sandwich and came back.
So, are you saying that type of match you should be watching when you're inebriated or have some
it was
CBD gummies?
It was the middle of the day. This is the middle of the day. Okay. On Thursday. This is the middle of the day on Thursday. Oh. It wasn't even on Saturday. All right, let's go to Progress. This is all Friday. I watch these shows on Friday now. Friday morning, Thursday night, obviously, we did the show. We did this show, and then we watched Collision. After the show, after CJ fell down and whatnot. We watched Collision. Make sure he was okay. By the way, for those wondering, if you're watching the show live last week, obviously I edited it out of the broadcast when I posted it up. Christian did not get a concussion. He's okay. Just wanted to clarify that.
I'm good.
People that are watching it live last week, I just want to clarify
I'm good. Just it just hurt.
Yeah.
Like
after a few hours, he was fine. Just want to clarify that. Anyway, Progress Wrestling, I watched it on Friday morning. It was the first show I watched on Friday morning. Chapter 179.
Jesus Christ.
I am so disappointed by this because they did not give me a clever name. I really wanted a clever name. We didn't get one.
Progress in Las Vegas.
Progress. Oh, this is called Progress Las Vegas.
Oh.
That was the name of the show. I'm very disappointed by that. And Christian didn't understand. Dad knows. Dad gets it. That I love Progress's clever names for their shows. It's one of my favorite things. They didn't give us one for this one. I say this because I'm trying to find the next show on here because I'm on Progress Instagram page. I'm trying to find it. There's a show. I love the names of their shows because they're always creative and funny. And this was not. This was not.
You know, you should name the show like Viva Progress.
Something like that would have at least been creative. Like that would have at least been. I can't find one right now because everything on here has to do with the Vegas show and the super sweet and the super strong style 16. So I can't find anything right now. But your dad knows it. Oh no, here you go. Their next their last show was they have episode 182. It's called Stay Humble. That's what I'm talking about. It's show titles like that I absolutely love. Anyway, best match. This one goes to the women. This match was great. It was Nina Samuels defending the Progress Women's Championship against Riho and Vert Dixon. This was so good. This was so exciting, and I honestly had no idea who was going to win, which made it even more fun because any of these three women could have won because the other two are former Progress Women's Champions. So anyone could have won. So that's what made it awesome. I don't have a worst match from the show because it was a good show, but I do have a WWF moment, and I Dad's looking at the run sheet like, what? What the fuck?
Who is this?
Let me just play the clip, and I'll explain what happened here. This is the finish of the Progress Protest Championship. This is an open. It was a vacant title, and it was a 5-way match, and this was the finish.
Champion! Hauser's a new champion!
Here is your winner and the new Progress Protest Champion, Paul Walter Hauser!
I don't think Paul can entirely believe it himself. He is a champion in Progress Wrestling.
I mean, that has to be, with all due respect, that has to be an upset.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at the house arrest right on.
What the fuck?
Paul Walter Hauser, the Emmy-winning Paul Walter Hauser. He was in Cobra Kai. is now a champion in Progress Wrestling. Dad, your face says it all. Your thoughts?
This I gotta say what.
This is
Here's
bringing back.
Wait, I'll let Dad start first.
This is bringing back bad memories of another celebrity that wanted to get into the game.
David Arquette, you know. And this
Definitely.
wasn't their world title. Christian?
Did this motherfucker just say the house arrest?
That was the name of the move.
Oh, I thought you just said house arrest
No,
for
it
no
was the
reason.
name
I was
of-
like,
it was the
what?
name- it was the name of the finishing move.
Okay,
So
I'm about to say,
It
why did you
was
say-
the Haas arrest because Hauser.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
all I heard was
you
house
didn't.
arrest?
No, his accent threw you a little bit.
No,
Don't worry about it.
I heard house
But
arrest. I was like, what?
The way the announcing team was for the show, it was the Progress lead announcer for the UK crowd, and they had crap for the women's side. She was a Epi show, and she's married to T-Ball.
I have no idea.
I know Dad knows that. I can't think of her name right now. Married to Speedball.
Yeah.
I can't think of her name. It'll come to me. I don't know her.
Was she also doing commentary for Ring of Honor?
Yeah, for a while, but I can't think of her name right now. It'll come
My
to me.
dumbass, but say Stacy.
It'll come to me eventually. So that's what those are the voices you're hearing on that show. I had to play the clip because I knew you wouldn't believe me if I didn't just play it. If I didn't just play the clip.
I still don't.
I watched it. I watched it happen, and I was stunned. I watched it happen. All right, let's move on. TNA Unbreakable. This is a weird show. I said it when we were previewing it. I don't know why this show happened, except for the fact they needed to show on WrestleMania weekend. To be quite honest with you, I don't know why this show happened. Oh, thank you. Maria in the chat, help me out here. Beta Scott.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let me
Exactly.
bring it up on the screen here.
You're right.
Maria, showing there we go. Maria Gonzalez. Oh, hi Maria. Old show.
Hey Maria, how you doing?
She was on the old show back in the day. She
Hello.
was on the old show back in the day.
Thank you for the assist.
Thank you. It was completely blanking me. Thank you very much. I'm not going through the show, by the way. If you want to comments as we're going along, help yourself. Anyway, so this show was weird because really, if you watched it, it was a commercial for Sunday Tape Review. It was a commercial for Sunday Tape Review, but
Commercials?
no, it was promotion because every match had to do with Sunday Tape Review, except for one. Actually, they were doing a mini tournament for a title that didn't exist, and one of the matches was the blow off for the feud. So pretty much best match of the night. I had to do something by default. It was Mike Santana and the Hardys versus Mustafa Ali and the Nemitz to set up the Mike Santana versus Ali match on Sunday and the Hardys versus the Nemitz on Sunday.
Brothers versus brothers.
That's happening. And then the other thing, worst match. This match, it was awful. It was an open challenge by Moose. I thought it was a title match. It ended up being a non-title match. It was versus Sidney Acom. You know him better as Reggie.
Oh.
From the NXT days. This match was not good.
Oh,
It was not a good match.
He didn't do his leap and he's flying and
It was against Moose. What did you think was going to happen?
squash match.
It was 5 minutes. It wasn't good. And then we did our title change, obviously, for the brand new title, the TNA International Championship. We did a triple threat mini tournament. It was 3 triple threat matches that led to a triple threat match.
Wow.
Because they wanted to get rid of the Digital Media Championship and they brought in the International Championship. And this was a tribute to the 2005 Unbreakable triple threat main event between AJ Styles, Chris Reynolds, and Samoa Joe. I swear to God, that's what this was.
Okay.
Steve Macklin is the international champion. He pinned AJ Francis. The match was AJ Francis, Eric Young, and Steve Macklin. And in turn, that means on Sunday, it's going to be Eric Young versus Steve Macklin for the title because he wasn't pinned in this match.
Okay.
Got
At least I could explain that. And last week we were joking about the barbed wire matches and everything. We had this is my WTF moment of the show. It was Sammy Callahan versus Manswater in a barbed wire massacre. Only the 3rd barbed wire massacre in TNA history.
Did you have a video or pictures of
I
this?
do not because I didn't want to watch it again. I didn't want to watch it again.
Was it that bad?
If you really want to, go on TNA's Instagram, TNA social media, and watch them staple a tongue to their board and slam it off to the floor. That's the thing that happened in this match.
There you go, Sal. Find some video of that.
He sent it to me. He sent it to me.
He
didn't
sent
know
it
that.
to you.
He didn't know
Oh.
that actually happened, and I had already watched it.
Okay.
All right, let's get to the show. that I wasted my time watching.
I see it, and that's actually pretty funny.
Why did I watch this show? Luckily, I'll say, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I have not gotten to FTP Game Run yet. I ran out of time, and I ran out of energy. I'm just going to be honest with you. I ran out of energy. And by the time I got to Tuesday, I had work to do. So by the time Monday was over, I wanted to turn off the TV for a while before Raw. And then then I had to go back to work on Tuesday. So I never got to Effie. I'm going to get to it eventually. But this is Mark Hitchcock Memorial WrestleCon Super Show. And usually this is actually a good show. Usually, that's why I watched it. Because traditionally, this show is not bad. Not a great show, but not a terrible show. Okay? What a waste of time this was. This was such a waste of my time. I want my 2 hours back. I want my 2 hours back for this disaster of a show. I would like, so I had to pick something for best match.
Okay.
I don't remember this happening. I think I left the room. I just needed to finish the show, and I think I was hungry. And I was just doing the DMDK versus Flip Gordon, Hit and Michael Oku, just because it was the only match that didn't make me want to throw something at the TV. It was the only one.
Okay.
By the way, remember we were recording the Hall of Fame show last week? I was watching this in the background. The first half in the background. And there was a random scramble match that Danhausen won for no reason whatsoever. Like, that was the kind of stuff that was going on in the show. He wasn't even advertised for the show. He wasn't even advertised.
He just popped in?
He showed up and bet the pinfall of the match. I have no idea what happened there.
Okay.
Again, not the strangest finish I've seen this weekend, but we'll get to that in a minute. And then there was the match that last week we were reviewing. Okay, I'm going to talk about the bad match first before I get to this match. Mickey James versus Maki Ito. I had high hopes going into this match because Maki Ito's fun. Mickey James is fun. What the fuck did I watch? What was this? This was not a wrestling match. This was two women who decided we're going to do holds, and then we're going to stop. We're going to have a sing-off for some reason, and then we're going to have a 2-minute match, and that was it. What a waste of time. It was I don't bad.
What?
I mean,
so bad.
Is that because they didn't want the participants to get hurt?
I have no idea what this was. This was so bad. Like, don't go back and watch this. That's how bad this was. Don't go back and watch this.
Okay, so basically,
if you want to watch something, that if you ever want to know what bad pro wrestling is, and if you ever want to know, if whatever felt like to have a pounding headache, but not drink anything, but I had a drink, then this is the match for you.
Would you like to read everything?
Literally in my notes, it says worst match / WTF. Seriously, what did I just watch?
Question mark.
Question mark. Butterbean versus.
No, why did I watch this?
Why did I watch this?
Question mark. Butterbean
versus Maruno Suzuki was Dan Severn as the special guest enforcer.
Okay, all right. Time out.
Murder Great Suzuki.
Okay, that's questions.
Butterbean?
Yes, you're not imagining this. That's what I said. That is what I said. And yes, it is the person you're thinking of.
Okay. Now, let me ask this question. Has Butterbean lost weight?
No. As a matter of fact, he was an old man walking. This was bad. And I mean bad. I mean, I wanted to start. I wanted to hop a gummy early. It was so bad. This was a disaster. This was awful. The men, and I give Suzuki credit. He tried to make this watchable. No, it couldn't happen. It didn't happen. These two did something in the ring. Couldn't tell you what it was. It wasn't wrestling. And then they went to the other. What did I tell you to finish?
Okay.
Because notice in the notes, I didn't have a winner. Notice that I didn't put it in the notes. Because this match ended on a double count-out disqualification.
How?
Because Dan Severn, counted both men out, and nobody knew. And nobody paid attention to it.
Wait a minute. Nobody got that?
Because we're too busy watching two old men punch each other in slow motion on the outside.
What?
And instead, Dan Severn apparently is in the ring counting very, very slowly. It was one of the slowest touchdowns in the history of mankind. He may have counted to 45 at that point. It was so bad. And then Suzuki hit the bell rang, and nobody knew why. Nobody knew why the bell rang. Nothing ever happened.
But to Suzuki's credit, he's usually more
good,
better.
So
I mean, especially when he has matches like Ishii.
Just wait. Let me finish this because I'm not done. Suzuki gets in the ring, confused, because nobody knew why the bell rang. Nobody knew why the announcers didn't know why the bell rang. The announcers didn't know what happened here. So he gets in the ring and looks at Dan Stafford like, what the fuck? Exactly what he said was, what the fuck?
In the murder grandpa way.
And the crowd starts chanting, let them fight, let them fight. In a match I'm going to talk about, a blood sport, the chant actually worked because of the rules in the match. It was in the fight. Well, Dan Stafford pretty much told the crowd to go fuck themselves because he literally reiterated, this match is over. It was a double count out. We're done. And he just walked away. He just walked away, leaving Suzuki in the ring and Butterbean on the outside looking so confused.
Okay.
And the crowd was so apathetic. They didn't even boo. They did not even boo it. It was so bad.
If memory serves me right, I remember Butterbean when he was younger getting into wrestling, and I'm trying to remember if it was with WCW. You did something with him, and it didn't work then.
It was WWF against Bart Gunn at
Oh, was that the Brawl for All?
Yeah, sorry, that's trying to explain. Again.
This finish up.
Oh, yeah, I think we're done. With this because this is bad.
Because I was saying the only reason why this match was good was because of this.
So
that match of the night.
That was so bad. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Let me get to a show was actually good. Let's get to a show that was actually good. Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. I'm turning into a fan of this show. I'm turning into a massive fan of this show. John got me into Bloodsport a couple of years ago. And for those who never watched Bloodsport is pretty much you take the ropes down and you have staged MMA fights. And during these staged MMA fights, there's rules, there's like strict rules and time limits. And sorry, Christian happened to fix his shoe. And I'm trying to help him while I'm talking.
I'm holding the mic.
I'm trying to help Christian fix his shoe over here. I have to do this after the show. I might be able to concentrate on it. Wait, almost had it. I'll have to do it upstairs. Remind me upstairs.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
So for context, I'm just doing this with the mic up to his mouth. I'm just doing this, holding the mic like this. And it's just and he's just like working with the shoe.
In mid-conversation, I'm just trying to look at what's going on. But anyway, so Bloodsport, it rubs you down. You have fights, there's rules. The cool part about Bloodsport is they bring all the fighters out before the show and introduce everybody individually. I love this stuff. Absolutely love it. It was such a good show. I don't even have a worse fight. That's how good of a show this was. I don't even have a worse fight. It was that good of a show. Was every match great? No. But was any match bad? No. That's how I'll say it. If you go out of your way to watch the show, it was a great 2.5 hours. Like it was so good. I will give best matches. I have a couple of them. That's how good the show was. I have a couple of best matches. Pete Dunne versus Timothy Thatcher. That match was Pete Dunne won. That match was great. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jonathan Gresham went to a time limit draw. The crowd in the rules of time limit draws in the 15-minute matches, and in the 15 minutes, it's automatically a 5-minute sudden death. And it went 3 more minutes after that. It was fantastic. Zack Sabre Jr. won. It was fantastic. That was phenomenal. I've come a long way on these two, and this match was fantastic. And then the main event of the show was also great. It was Gabe Kidd versus Josh Barnett. And Gabe Kidd won, and that was also a great fucking fight.
Damn.
That was a great fucking fight. The surprise is for me, Natty Neidhart, her first GCW show ever was in Bloodsport. She came out to Rage Against the Machine. I did not see that coming at all. And then she had this fight, and I'm like, that's Natty? Wait, what? Where has this been hiding for the last 20 years? Like, where the fuck has this been hiding? This was a fucking great fight. Like, she did a great job. And then they were setting up something. She's going to be part of NWA Crockett Cup. And so they set up something for that in the middle of this too. Like, they did a great job. She's cursing, she's pushing people, she's breaking, she's not following the rules. Like, this is awesome. It was so much fun to watch. And then the other thing was Killer Kross, not Karrion Kross, Killer Kross. It was on this show. And he was fantastic. They let him do the opening promo to start the show. His fight was awesome as hell. And I want more Karrion Kross on WWE television after this. This is great.
I saw a video of him. He was in his judo gi.
It was great. He did a phenomenal job. Like, he did a phenomenal job as well. So high praise to Bloodsport for the weekend. Again, I have not watched Effie's show yet, so there'll probably be high praise for that too. But this was great. Joey Janela Spring Break 9. I feel like I should have watched Effie first. I didn't. I should have. I should have. This was not nearly as bad as the Super Show, but this is still a thing that happened. Best match, got to go to Gabe Kidd and Mance Warner. This was awesome.
God, Mance was everywhere.
So was Gabe Kidd. And then there was remember Christian last week when we were talking about this last week? There was the Senior Scramble.
Oh no!
And it was such a weird concept because they literally announced these guys by their ages.
Uh-huh.
The youngest person was 56.
Yep.
The oldest was 75.
Yep.
And that was Mike Jackson.
Yep.
So here's the thing. The reason this is listed as worst match. You expect a Senior Scramble to be slow. I went into expecting it. What you don't expect is for these old people to be in the ring. They're about to screw up. They're doing basics, nothing crazy, right? It's Damien 666, George South, Mike Jackson, Ricky Morton, and Robert Gibson. Here's the problem. I don't think when they booked this, they realized they'd have to have somebody win this match. And they didn't want to. So they sent out Kenny Morton, who was like in his 30s, to antagonize everybody. Because ECW, it's like ECW, there's no rules. So we got in the ring, and they made a count, and they pinned him instead. They pinned him instead.
Wait, what? How? What?
Exactly, that's what happened.
How?
I'll just tell you, that's what happened.
I'm sorry. I like it. And I quote, this is exactly what it says. Kerry Morton lost the match, even though he wasn't even in it.
That's in my notes.
And knowing Damien 666, yeah, he was probably doing some very strange moves.
It wasn't doing anything. It wasn't doing much of anything.
Then slow down.
Sabu, George Janela. It was Sabu's retirement match. Thank God.
Goddamn.
I thought I was watching an ECW fever dream. I really thought I was watching an ECW fever dream. But George Janela was in the spot of like Tommy Dreamer instead. This was bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. It was there. It was what you expect from a no rope barbed wire match. The Sandman came out for some reason. Bill Alfonso came out for some reason.
Barney came out for some reason.
I don't know what was going on in this match. At one point, George Janela is going through multiple barbed wire tables. Oh, sorry, not tables, doors. I forgot the DCW don't do tables, they do doors.
For some reason.
It was just a weird match to watch, and Sabu won his retirement match. Okay. Sure. So next one.
This hurts to read.
In a math versus career match, it was Idiot Kroger versus Baker.Soul. Put it on here. I'm not sure if Christian's for the video yet, but I have to share it and have to do it. Bagel lost.
No.
Do it. You can do it. Do it. Do it for you. Do it for you.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, I put this on here because I had to. It was one of those things like I watched this. I'm like, wow. First of all, not a bad looking guy. I said that was real bad.
He
it almost
That's
was
what
like,
he's been hiding all those years.
Right?
God damn.
It's like when Sami Zayn took off the Sami Zayn showed up out of nowhere, but that was his face out there. Like, wow, you're actually a good looking guy. Yeah, so Fader's actually not a bad looking guy at all. But yeah, he lost his mask.
Damn.
After all these years. It looked like he took his shoes off, took his boots off like a retirement, but it's not that was his retirement of the gimmick of Fuego del Sol.
Oh.
Yeah.
I really wanted to make sure Christian saw that because I know it was important to him, the whole Sammy Guevara history.
I love Fuego because before when I found the whole Sammy thing, I actually started watching Fuego's matches on the independent circuit, and I like the guy, and it's like he's the underdog that you don't expect to win, and sometimes he just wins, and he has the simplest moves, but they work perfectly for him. And it's so sad to see him lose.
Yeah,
a mask.
Yeah, I know. I figured it was gonna be heartbreaking, but I had to share it.
Fuego did what any luchador would do: is you honor
Respectable
the code.
And by the way, he put that video up on his own Instagram page.
Yeah,
so that came from his Instagram page.
Was the finish at least clean?
It was pretty clean. It was GCW. It's as clean as you're gonna get from GCW.
Okay.
So close as you're gonna get from GCW match, especially because it was a grudge match on top of it all. So like there was weapons involved. So like it was a grudge match. It wasn't going to be a clean finish because it was a grudge match. This is how the GCW does their shows.
Who's the guy with Fuego?
I don't know who that was, but I want his confidence. I want his confidence. Holy fuck. That's a big guy. That's a big guy. I want his confidence. Like, damn.
That's a big guy and a great guy. Because do you hear what he said?
I know. I was listening to him. I was emotional. That was really emotional.
You
don't have to do this. You're going to be fine.
You don't need that fucking mask.
That was great.
Give me that man's confidence and that man's support.
Yeah,
God damn.
Wow.
Everyone needs a friend like that guy.
So, okay. A little truth be told here. I have not finished the clusterfuck. I have not finished it. It's one of those things
That's
where
a clusterfuck. They haven't finished clusterfuck.
No, I got halfway through it, but then I had to go make dinner, and then it was Monday, and it was Raw, and I was that Tuesday, hey, get back to work. So I plan on finishing the second. The problem is the clusterfuck battle royal is like 2 hours. So like I'm like halfway through, and I still haven't gotten to the highest yet. But the reason I was even watching it because I heard about the finish, and I wanted to share the finish. This is the finish of the clusterfuck battle royal. Part of George Hill's Clusterfuck Forever. Thank you to GCW for their Instagram page for this video.
Megan just holding Doris and another entrant about to make their way to the ring.
No way!
He's here! Standing on the stage and he's introducing.
No way!
Oh my God! Brody Lee Jr. entering the matchup.
-1 makes his professional wrestling debut. Give the assist to Dashing Chris Bay.
Oh, slap across the face.
Move of the night.
Whoa, swing and a miss by Janela.
Big clothesline.
Yeah.
Turned him inside out with it.
Guys, Brody Jr. might do this. Stunner!
And Joey over the top.
Whoa,
eliminated. Brody Lee Jr. has won the match.
Of the clusterfuck, Brody Lee Jr.
He did it!
Eliminating Joey Janela. Brody Lee Jr., congratulations!
Hey!
Wow.
So I get a message from John. I'm like, do you want to know the end of the clusterfuck? Because I want this brother to get to it. I'm like, just tell me. He's like, you're never going to believe me. I'm like, just tell me anyway, because I've seen weirder finishes for the clusterfuck. And he's like, Brody Lee Jr. won the clusterfuck by eliminating Bacon Bane and Joey Janela. I'm like, what? Wait, what happened? I had to read it twice. I'm like, wait, what?
Wait a minute. He's got to be all of what, 15, 16?
Yeah, he's a teenager. He's about teenage age. It's crazy, isn't it? It's that nuts?
And I can't even do that shit.
But like the fact that he pulled out a stunner and all this kind of stuff, that was impressive. That was fun.
When he was setting up for the close, I thought he was going to do the discus lariat.
But no, that was cool though. That was a lot of fun. That was cool to watch. So there you go.
Do you know what Brody called that?
What, the discus lariat?
Yeah. The clothesline from Smell.
Oh, I forgot about that. So there you go. There's your wrap up from the Indies. Crazy weekend, crazy week. I still got every show to watch. I do plan on watching it eventually. I just hit a wall, and I hit a wall, and I wanted to watch. I wanted to enjoy Raw. Too. I wanted to enjoy Raw, and I hit a wall.
Question.
Sure.
Can Chris Bay wrestle?
Chris Bay. So I didn't include this. I should have included this in the TNA stuff. Motherfucker should not even be walking. This man should not even be walking. He was paralyzed 4 months ago. The man is walking. Oh, sorry. It was October. So it was paralyzed right after Bound for Glory in October.
A quick question about the paralyzed. Was it immediate paralyzation?
Yeah, pretty much.
So as soon as
if you want to hear this, it's really emotional. I just warn people about this. Chris Bay was interviewed. First interview was on Chris Bay's podcast. It is emotional. It is extremely emotional. He was in a match against it was ABC versus the Hardys. The match never aired on television for this reason.
Okay.
For this very reason, because of why. The reason why. Aired never match on. This is the same night. Speedball and Chris Bay both got hurt, and the matches got edited out. They had to edit around it on the TV when they aired the show on TV. But so Chris Bay, he landed wrong. It wasn't even a bad move. He just landed wrong, and he felt it. And and Matt Hardy, to his credit, caught on immediately, and almost I had to stop the match to get him out of the ring. And then Jeff finished the match, and we moved on.
Jeff and Ace, I'm guessing.
Yeah, they finished the match because it was a title match. They finished the match, but the crowd knew something was up, and it took them 25 minutes to get Chris out of there, up on a gurney to get him out to a hospital. He went immediately to the hospital, and he went and had surgery, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. This is October.
So he can move his arms, correct?
Right. It was paralyzed from the waist down. By January, he was walking.
He shouldn't be.
I have no idea how he was walking, but in January, there's a video on his Instagram page. I was going to bring it here, but we didn't have a time that day. He was walking. Then he, the morning of the TNA show, they were doing a brunch. The Hardys and all them were doing a brunch. Kind of a Q&A. It was hosted by Tom Hannigan. They surprised everybody by having Chris Bay walk out on that. Emotional as hell. Well, on the TNA Unbreakable show, they had Chris Bay come out with Ace Austin. There was a dry eye in the fucking house. It was emotional as hell. Like, it was so emotional to watch. Like, the man should not be walking, and he's doing it, and he might be able to wrestle by the end of the year. How fucking crazy is that?
That's amazing.
Like, there's a possibility if he works hard enough, he might be able to wrestle. But 1 year later, he might be able to wrestle. That's amazing. Absolutely, it's a miracle. It's a straight up miracle.
Yeah, and this is all from his determination and his never say die attitude. And
the best story never written. That's what he's calling this right now.
Yes.
Right. And I'm sure that he looks at this as a second chance, but I'm sure.
Like I said, go into the interview with TVV. It was emotional as hell, but a really good interview. So one of TVV's best interviews in a long time. That's saying a lot because he has had some great interviews lately. That was a great interview. So
I can say this for it, hey, Chris. Hey, we wish you nothing but the best, and if you can come back and do this, God bless you.
I love it. Even if you just managed it, it's Austin or something. Just to see him back out there was amazing.
If all else fails, for the love of God, be careful.
100%.
Because no, I'm not saying this.
There's no second chances.
No,
again. There's no third chance. There's no third chance.
There's no third. I'm just saying this right now.
We're honest. Yeah.
Be honest here. You're lucky you got this chance.
Absolutely.
Take it for granted. Wrestle as much as you can.
Don't take it for granted.
No, sorry. Don't take. Sorry. You know what I meant.
Yeah,
don't take it for
help you. That's all.
Don't take it for granted. Take this shot with the most pride you have. And if something happens, stop and take it care of, and then come back.
Yeah, the pro wrestling world is behind you. Just warn you there.
If you're hurt or something's wrong, you don't feel like your body's not going well.
Don't force it.
Don't force it.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on. Let's get on. So right before Mania week hit, there was a bunch of New Japan news, and it was after our Wrestling City Riot show, so we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the podcast. So we're bringing it up here. One of them didn't surprise me. The other one did. Like, one of them I saw coming a mile away. The other one I did not see coming. Let's see. I pressed the right button here. Let's start with this one. So Jeff Cobb, the co-owner of the IWGP Tag Team Championship, they won the title. Him and I think it was Great O'Khan. I don't remember anymore.
Yeah, yes,
they won the title.
Great O'Khan.
They won the titles. Well, they no longer are champions because Jeff Cobb he requested to be released 6 months ago. They finally granted it,
of course,
and it sounds like he's bound for WWE.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yes.
As of this is actually pretty recent. It sounds like he actually tweeted out then, now, and forever on his Twitter page.
Yep.
So it sounds like he's destined for WWE sooner than later. So I'm not gonna lie. The problem is he's close to his 40s. So I just get him in now before it becomes a bigger issue. But I'm excited for this move. So the other one. So I wake up the other morning. It's kind of waking up. Obviously, I was on vacation most of the last week, so I was only half paying attention to what I'm reading. And I'm like, why? New Japan on their Instagram page. New Japan, to their credit, is very good. They have 3 Instagram pages going on. One's in Japanese, one's in English, and then one is their television account where all the matches are announced. Really well structured Instagram format over there. Fantastic on their part. I gave them a lot of credit for the social media. Well, I saw something up on their Japanese side, and I was very confused by it. I put the Google Translation, and I was reading. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Because I was at the English side, and I reread it. Like, nope, that's exactly what I thought it said. This is exactly what I thought it said. Japan announced they are not re-signing Tenzin Naito and Bushi. Their final matches will be on May 4th. Bushi surprised me. I'm not gonna lie, that one surprised me. After seeing his match at Windy City Riot, not surprised that Naito's leaving the company. Just being honest.
Finally,
it sounds like he's officially done.
Is he retiring?
I don't know if he's retiring. He might be one of those where he does indies and shit like that. Man's got eye issues. He was very slow at our show. Not gonna lie, I'm not gonna miss him. Honestly, I'm not gonna miss him. Dad, any thoughts on these?
Well, I know that doctors have told Naito that he shouldn't go back into the ring because there's a good.
Oh yeah, Christian didn't even know this.
Yeah.
He's had 3 surgeries on his eye.
Both?
I think his right eye. Had 3 surgeries. If he has one more surgery, he'd be blind. The doctors have told him not to wrestle. That was a year and a half ago. Rich Fan talked about this on the podcast a bunch of times.
And he won a match. And he won the title.
Yeah, so it was a weird situation. So, yeah.
Like, what happened with his eye?
We don't know. I don't know the details. I just know Rich Fan talked about it a lot on this podcast.
I think his optic nerve became dislocated. Yeah. They sewed it back on. The doctors told him in the first operation that he's going to lose a little bit of sight.
Yeah.
And he kind of went, okay, whatever, and kept on wrestling, and it's happened 2 more times.
Yeah.
So when the last time happened, the doctors... Yeah. And the doctors told him, hey, okay, this is the 3rd time it's happened. This happens again, you're going to lose complete vision in that eye, period.
And he still didn't give a shit. So you know, well, that broke literally right in the middle of Mania week. So I didn't get to talk about it here because we were obviously WWE centric a lot last week. So a lot of the stuff we didn't get to talk about. So let's get to Mania week. Let's get to the aftermath of Mania week. There's so much to talk about. And I'm still excited to talk about this stuff. But let's start with the Hall of Fame, though. First of all, before I even get to my note, I haven't watched the Hall of Fame yet. I was planning on it this week. Again, hit a wall. Didn't get around to it. But apparently, Paul Levesque's speech went longer than his longest match in his career.
Oh, my God.
That is not a joke. That's not an exaggeration.
Yes.
It went an hour and 15 minutes. His longest match is an hour 8.
Who was his match?
It was not a match against The Rock. It was not a match against The Rock. But
not to give anything away.
It was long. Dad actually watched the Hall of Fame. Dad actually watched it.
But one comment that got me was, and still Mr. T is out there still talking about his mama.
You get that joke, Christian? You get that joke? Okay. Listen, I gotta tell the story. This is one of my favorite Hall of Fame stories of all time. This side of what was the other one that was this side of it was the first Hall of Fame classes. Me and C-Town did a whole special making fun of it. It was during, I gotta remember, I'll look it up in a second. But the Mr. T thing, he did a 25-minute speech. It should have been a quick celebrity speech. Really quick.
Yep.
And we're not even exaggerating when we say 85% of this speech was him thanking and loving his mother. That was 85% of his speech. And it sounds funny now, but boy, was it going on the night. It was so to the point where Kane, when he was an active wrestler at the time, he came out to interrupt it to get him off the stage. That's how long this was going. It was bad.
His mama.
Then there was Bob Backlund, by the way, back in the day, where he did this whole speech, went on random rants, and then left and went to the gym.
Okay.
What?
Okay then.
That happened.
Well, the other thing too that Triple H is saying is, I'm not going to be as long as Ric Flair.
Which is not true, because Flair was under an hour. This has to be the longest speech they ever had. Triple H has to be the longest speech ever. It has to be. And then I'm talking about Hillbilly Jim that went 35 minutes for no reason.
Who?
Exactly. I gotta quickly look up the Hall of Fame class. This first Hall of Fame class. I need to remember who this was because it was one of the. Still trying to fix his shoe, and he almost got the microphone.
But just to put you that when you watch that part, have a Kleenex handy.
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I've already gotten emotional enough over stupid stuff this week. I'm good.
Okay.
I have it up here. I just had to figure out what the first Hall of Fame, official Hall of Fame class, not the Andre the Giant class, obviously. It was the first time they did this stuff. Just looking up real quick because this was. I'll have to find the audio of this because it's one of the funniest shows we ever did. Ever did. 2004. Here it is. 2004 Hall of Fame class. There it is. Thank you. Had to find it. I still have the DVD. The DVD is actually part of the WrestleMania 20 DVDs. I thought we were able to do this. Hang on. I'm finding it here. Oh, was it this year? It wasn't that year. What year was it? Bothering me that I can't remember this. But it was one of those speeches that went so long. It was so bad that it was like, what are we watching? Oh no, Iron Sheik. It was the Iron Sheik one.
Oh,
my
Lord.
Lord.
Okay, all right.
Okay, he was not. I don't know what was going on in the speech. But oh my God, he was rambling. He was talking. At one point, I think he's threatened people's lives. At one point, he started talking about Hulk Hogan, who by the way was right behind him. He was right behind him, by the way, because he was in this class. It was to the point where
they played the music, and he still was talking.
Played the music. They played him off. I thought he was done. The music stopped, and then he kept talking. And then he kept talking for 5 more minutes to the point where Bobby Heenan had to get up and pull him off of the platform. It was so insane. Oh my Lord, we've had a lot of crazy moments at the Hall of Fame over the years. And then there was the time that they cut the Hall of Fame off. We were watching I think we were watching the G1 Supercard, New Japan and Ring of Honor that night. And we were going to watch the Hall of Fame later. And the Hart Foundation was getting inducted, and a fan comes into the ring and attacked Bret Hart in the middle of his speech.
Oh yeah, I saw about that.
It's no longer on. It's obviously no longer on Peacock. They edited it out, but like I was getting stuff online. Like, wait, what the fuck just happened at the Hall of Fame? Like, what the fuck just happened? It was the first time they did the arena.
Wasn't that Natty's husband that made the dive to go on top of him?
Tyson Kidd?
It was Tyson Kidd that interfered, punched a guy in the. It was absolutely insane.
I saw the clip. I was like, holy shit.
So, okay, let's get back to this. Anyway, speaking of the Hall of Fame, if anyone noticed during WrestleMania, when they had the Hall of Fame people come out, someone was missing on the stage.
Oh, yeah, someone definitely.
It was one Lex Luger. He wasn't on the stage. Well, apparently, he got a booking over at WrestleCon for a meet and greet that paid him more, so he went over there instead.
Oh, my God.
Well,
I don't blame him for taking the money. I'm sorry. You go to the Hall of Fame thing, go to WrestleMania, do the Hall of Fame, or do the WrestleCon thing in the morning, reschedule it for earlier in the day, and then go to the WrestleMania, and then do it the next day again. No one's saying you have to do it during Mania. Nobody's saying this.
Well, the people in his camp put out that the reason that he didn't show up for WrestleMania was because he was very tired because he was walking and standing for all of his induction.
You offered him more money. In reality, so
you're part of WrestleMania Hall of Fame and you pass on that.
Yep. Only the second person I've ever seen actually pass on the Hall of Fame.
Who was the first one?
Bret Hart, because he felt uncomfortable in 2006.
Why?
Because there was his first appearance back since the screw job. and he felt uncomfortable showing up in front of the fans.
Mm-hmm.
He made up for it, obviously, later on with the second Hall of Fame induction with the Hart Foundation, but still, like, he felt uncomfortable. That was the year Eddie Guerrero was the main attraction, and he felt and Evan Hart felt uncomfortable to show up in front of the fans. That's where that happened at WrestleMania 22.
And he still had animosity for Vince.
Yeah, but still, anyway, moving on. So,
Who doesn't?
so obviously at WrestleMania pre-show, AAA got purchased by WWE. So apparently, I got more details on this. WWE does not own AAA. And TKO does not own AAA 100%. There's a company in Mexico. I don't remember the name of it. And TKO and WWE split the cost. So it still has Mexican ownership. It's important. It's actually really important for everyone down in Mexico. It's very important for them to know that.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. There's a couple people on that roster that are scumbags, assholes. One of them was threatening the life of Stephanie McKeer.
Ooh.
I don't remember his name. Her ex-boyfriend is currently still in AAA and literally threatened her life right before she came to WWE.
Fuck.
Not a joke. Not even exaggerating. A joke whatsoever.
That's true.
So I'm going to keep an eye on that. That hasn't been addressed yet. But what has been addressed is the AAA Mega Champion. Their world champion has been released. Alberto Del Patron has been released.
Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, well, Del Patron, he had been released. I'm not surprised by this whatsoever. I'm not at all surprised. He left the WWE on extremely bad terms. And if they wanted to work anywhere, if they want to have any kind of relationship in the future with Paige, which I sound like they do, you don't want Alberto working in this company. So,
question, why?
No.
The reason that Alberto Real, let's say it.
Yeah, Alberto Del Rio.
Him and Paige Soraya were together for a long time. They were actually on Total Divas as a couple. They had a very abusive ending to their relationship, a really bad abusive ending to his relationship, and to the point where the reason that Alberto is in AAA is because he's really not allowed in this country. He's really not allowed back in this country. He hasn't been back in this country in years. He legitimately hasn't been back in this country in years.
Because of that?
Because of everything that's gone on. I think there might be a lawsuit and everything, too. So, like, there might be a whole big thing. So,
I mean, yeah, the world champion. Bye-bye.
yeah, so that is that. So I want to make sure we covered that.
Well, now we got a vacant title.
So yeah, well, it's the same belt that got vacant. This is the third time this belt has been vacated by a mega star. Because Kenny Omega held the belt, and then he got hurt, so they vacated it. And then Kingo had the longest fucking reign ever and had to vacate it because of injury.
Yep.
Over 600 days and had to vacate it because of injury.
And here's the thing with Alberto de Patron, Del Rio, whatever.
By the way,
I don't think CMLL will even touch him because he's
that. AEW is involved with CMLL, so they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, because he's that volatile.
One other thing I want to bring up here when it comes to I completely lost my train of thought actually. So never mind. All right, let's go over. I have tons of clips. I have clips. God. I love clips. I love clips so much. My favorite thing in the world.
You know, you just look like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, trust me. Clips. You have no idea what I have on here. Oh, you see my notes on the run sheet. You don't know what the hell the notes mean. You don't know what the notes mean. Most of these notes. So let's take you back to the Friday before WrestleMania. Thank you. You didn't even get that joke, but thank you.
I know it's like a rewrite.
It's from Wayne's World. By the movie that actually
Nick Wayne?
No. No, the Wayne's World finishing movie was named after the movie Wayne's World. Legitimately, that's actually the name of it. Anyway, let's go back to the Friday. They had that big kickoff press event. A big event with the fans. They have press there. It really is fluff. It's mostly fluff to set up WrestleMania weekend. It's all it's really there for. It's got the crowds riled up. I stopped watching it, really, because it's just fluff. But if something fun happens, like last year, Michael Cole and Cody Rhodes stage diving, like that's fun. This year, a clip was went viral on Friday night during SmackDown that I did not see coming. And it's simply breaker math.
Oh, no.
They say that all men are created equal. But if you look at this fatal four-way match and the members that are in it, you will see that that statement is not true. See, normally, I'd have a 25% chance of winning. But I'm a badass, and that statement is not true. See, Dominic Mysterio knows that he can't beat me, so he's not even gonna try. So I've got a 50% chance of winning right out of the gate. Okay. Then you add Penta to the equation. Now Penta is an incredible superstar, but Penta is scared of me. He's scared of the dog. So he's got a 25% chance of winning at best. You add that to my already 50% chance of winning, I got a 62.5% chance of winning. Yeah, you do. Then you add Finn Balor to the equation. Now Finn Balor's record at Wrestlemania is 1-3, which means he's got a 33.3% chance of winning. He's got a 66.7% chance of losing. You add that to my already 62.5% chance of winning, I got a 129.2% chance of winning.
That adds up. Ladies and gentlemen, the Intercontinental Champion, the unpredictable badass, Braun Breaker.
Does that add up?
And the math.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And the math is correct.
Like, I have to share that with you guys. I've been saving that for a week.
I'm gonna say this right now. The fact that he memorized the entire segment and then added his own like pentagram,
his own twist.
Right.
Oh, that get.
I applaud him.
He did Uncle Scott proud.
That was amazing. That was oddly set up by Scott on Twitter the day before because WWE on Twitter went and said it's a 25% chance of winning this match, and Scott tweeted out, "I wonder how the math works." And the next day, Braun did that on the stage.
I'm sure that Braun was talking on the phone with his family and said, "Okay, if we're gonna do this."
They were there. Simon were there because Dom has a video interacting with them. But
okay.
They were there. So that's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So I wanted to share that. I've been wanting to share that video for a week.
Kudos to Braun and family. Kudos.
I don't send these videos to you. I want your reaction on the air. I want your reaction.
Wow.
So this morning, this morning I get a message from Mandy. Oh, it was last night. This was last night. So I saved this immediately. Apparently, there was an old lady walking around backstage at WrestleMania. Apparently, it was a fan. It was a VIP fan. No idea who this was. But, boy, she was hilarious. I wanted to share this video.
Oh, God.
Of an old lady. Someone hitting on the wrestlers backstage.
What?
WWE put this on their Instagram page. This is 100% legitimate. Just to clarify this is not like a hidden video or anything. WWE put this up. So, here we go.
I thought you'd be cuter in person.
Lady, I'll suplex you right now.
It's time to play the game. Can I get your number?
What's that?
Can I get your number?
You have to ask my wife. Oh, Steph, she wants to know if she can have my number.
I guess so.
If your grandson doesn't take care of you, you call me and I'll throw him off a roof. I'll break
I
his legs.
certainly will. Can I take you on a date to the nursing home?
Go on a date with me.
Oh, if it was up to me, you'd be my baby daddy.
Really? I don't know. My wife would have something to say about that. Granny's going to have a match with my wife. Uh-oh.
Your wife said I could take you on a date.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Oh, we're going to have a wild night.
We got 2 words for ya.
I know who that is. Christian, who is that?
I don't know her actual name, but her whole thing on the internet is she's delusional, clueless, and just downright fucking hilarious.
That was such a fun video to watch. That was hilarious.
Her whole thing on the internet is she's a grandma who's very delusional and hilarious and says dumb shit.
But that's too funny.
And it's just amazing.
That was too funny.
Do we have her name?
I don't know her name.
Okay.
But that was too
I
funny.
don't know her actual name or her like
she's Granny, apparently. She's Granny to the wrestlers.
Granny.
I got all that. So
I'm sorry. I hate Logan Paul, but his comeback to the Granny
was
amazing.
too funny. That was too funny.
I thought she'd be cute in person. Granny, I'll suplex you right now.
That was funny. So remember last week, I forgot what WrestleMania recap show I brought this up on. They were talking about at the Palm Casino. They were doing a pool party to watch WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I got some footage from the pool party. Look at that. Was from Vegas' official Instagram page. That looks like so much fun. That looks
Oh
like
my God. Where else can you go swim, watch on a big screen, and not have to pay for price for a ticket?
I've been hearing about that. I've been hearing, even if you paid like a little money to get in there just because it probably charged a little bit to get in there or buy drinks or something. What I would have done in this situation, I would have gone to Vegas, gone to the world. WWE World meets the wrestlers, spent the money there, spent the money in the world to meet the wrestlers. Maybe gone to a couple of indie shows, and then did not bought tickets to WrestleMania because those were like ridiculously high.
Oh
I
yeah,
went to the pool party instead. I went to that instead.
Well, I know there were different there were different places that had watch parties.
But that was one of the best ones I've seen. That was the best one I saw. By far the best one I saw. Like, that was incredible. And they were advertising the those big after parties they were advertising during the show. Like
WrestleMania at night or something.
All those big after because it's Vegas and the show ended early at Vegas time.
Yeah.
So you had some time. This video mysteriously popped up on my Instagram page. I just wanted to share it. That was Liv Morgan, Kelly, and Raquel Rodriguez.
Where the fuck did Liv's clothes go?
I have no idea. That was my first thought when I saw that video. She's from Jersey.
Things.
She's from Jersey. Just go with it.
Fair enough. Do you know about that?
I know people from Elmwood Park because that's where she's from. So
Fair enough.
I'm allowed to make fun of Elmwood Park. I'm allowed. So I just wanted to share that. I thought that was fun.
Wow.
Okay, now we're at Aftermath. A lot of crazy shit happened. So I guess on Monday morning after night 2, I'm still off work. You're off school. He's from Monday. You're off school. Mandy's working. She's upstairs. My friend Josh, who's working, texts me out of nowhere. I was watching, I don't remember, I think I was watching the Joe Janela show. He texted me out of nowhere. And he goes and says, "Have you seen this Karrion Kross promo?" I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? What are you talking about? Well, apparently, so they were promoting this in WWE programming. So Sam Roberts and them do a Raw recap show. It's actually a really good show. It's actually really good. Well, they were doing a WrestleMania weekend recap show for every night of WrestleMania. It was a well-done show. They're at the venue. They had wrestlers on, in and out of their set. They were doing behind the scenes. The interview with Dominic Mysterio is one of the funniest things I've heard in a long time. That man's got a mouth on him. It's absolutely hysterical. They asked if he could curse, and then he wouldn't stop cursing. It was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
That's the most me statement.
Well, no, they asked if he could curse. He's cursing up a storm. But my favorite part of the whole thing was him saying, "I'm the greatest Intercontinental Champion, and I've only held the belt for 10 minutes."
Yeah.
30 seconds later, I only held the belt for 12 minutes. By the end of the interview was maybe 5 minutes. Maybe 5 minutes max. I had over 18 minutes. I was cracking up laughing. I was cracking up laughing. It was so funny. But anyway, so Karrion Kross crashed the set because he was pissed. And I don't know if this is real. I don't know if this is storyline. He was obviously on Raw Monday. And I thought when I saw the video, I thought they edited it out of the broadcast or something. Because if you're listening to the podcast, on the podcast side, Sam Roberts set it up as so we were setting up, and Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux bombarded the set and started talking, and we had to ask permission to make sure we can air this. So it's about just over 2 minutes. Well, it's about almost 3 minutes, but it's worth playing the whole thing. This is Karrion Kross. If you listen to the podcast near the end of the show, this is what happened.
Let's talk about how awesome it is that Logan Paul just won. And let's talk about, Sam, let's talk about what Logan Paul represents. The shortcut. Feels so good to be here. Feels so good to be in the business. Thinking about all of the funerals that I wasn't able to attend for the last 11 years in this business, all of the holidays I missed. You know, I could have just started a YouTube channel, could have just jumped in there with AJ Styles. Feels really good, right? It's awesome. It's really good.
Do you guys know we have 25 years combined experience, and what are we doing on Mania?
Well, they know because they're normal human beings, and they actually love professional wrestling. But apparently that doesn't mean shit anymore. That doesn't mean shit. All I asked All I asked Alan to do was, for once, to not think about just himself. Think about everybody in the back and think about the professional wrestling fans. That's all I wanted him to do. Sometimes, to do the right thing, you have to do the wrong thing. But he's a narcissist, and he had to do it his way. Hey, Alan, how many more WrestleManias do you have in your system? Probably, I don't know, one. Maybe this is the last one, and you just pissed that away. For what? For what? For your way? Thanks a lot, bud. I really appreciate it. You want to know what the best advice I ever got? It was from Bill Goldberg. 2021, back when I was in the Twilight Zone, you know what I mean? I'm wrestling for gasoline. It was awesome. Let me tell you all about it. Bill goes, hey, Kross, you know what? You remind me a lot of me. I go, I think we have different styles, Bill, but I really appreciate that. Do you have any advice for me? He goes, you know what? You just got to be a good soldier. A good soldier is what he said. So I decided to be a good soldier. You know what happened? They released me. And then I come back. You know what being a good soldier gets you, everybody here? Just so in case you're wondering, you want the back scoop here. Being a good soldier gets your times cut. Being a good soldier means that people come up to you and say, hey, you got any great ideas? Yeah, here it is from Scotland. No. That's a little too great. We're looking just for good ideas. That's for those guys over there. That's what being a good soldier is, okay? Being a good soldier is coming to your hometown where you cut your teeth, where you got started, and not being on the card. It's all about viral moments now. That's what it's all about, viral moments. Well, Guy, everybody's been telling me that I got to become undeniable. And as soon as it happens, they ignore it and they shut it down. I never asked to wrestle Randy. I never asked. That happened organically, and you ignored it for a viral moment. And good on Joe. Nothing against him. But you ignored it. And the crowd told you exactly how they felt about me on SmackDown when I was eliminated. And you ignored it. Become undeniable. My ass. My ass. You want a viral moment? On behalf of all of the true fans of professional wrestling, Guy with the suit and tie in the truck, go fuck yourself. That's from Killer Kross. No. Fuck it.
Thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm gonna go first. Holy fucking shit. There's your viral fucking moment, Karrion Kross. There's your fucking viral moment.
Wow. That one blew my mind. I was like, what the hell happened here? Like, that came out of nowhere.
Holy shit.
Dad?
I don't
Listen
think
to the
this
movie.
was a work. This was a shoot.
It felt like it was
And-
work a little bit. There was a work because it's bringing up action on character stuff. But then when he off on that, the end of that was definitely a shoot.
When-
the end of that.
when
Push him to the
he
fucking
when he started talking about Logan Paul, and then he mentioned AJ Styles Allen by his real name,
You know, I'm about to say,
it's
he did it on the
a
broadcast.
shoot.
Oh, hang on. He did it on the broadcast, though. In his defense, he did it during Wrestlemania. He called him Allen on the broadcast. So at least that was consistent the way on the broadcast. So that one, I'll give him that one.
So, I mean, he was talking from the heart because he was saying things that other wrestlers were also basically saying the same thing, except he had the balls to say it.
Yeah, I give credit to that was well done. It was well done. It was great.
And here's the thing, and I have to probably agree with him 75 to 80%. For all the wrestlers that have come up in this industry and worked their ass off and done everything and gone independent and to get where they at now, and there are guys that will tell you right now, it took me 15, 16 years before I got to WWE. That's not lying. That's actual because of everything else they've done.
Right.
And
You're
everything
right.
and
Absolutely
all the things that they have accomplished, their accolades and their instruction, to basically be passed over by some viral internet piece of shit that basically is so into himself and all about the money, and I don't want to give a shit about anyone else. Here's the thing, Mr. Paul,
Bite me.
and I'm telling you this as a respectable human being, one day when you expect it, you're going to get your ass kicked and you're going to find out what real life is all about. Because the money, once it's gone, what are you? Nothing but a piece of garbage.
So.
Amen.
Just where we're watching it, we're doing the show live, but we are now officially up against the NFL draft. Just want to clarify that we're officially up against the NFL draft.
Oh, great.
Just so if I'm a tiny bit distracted and about to pick the Giants to pick in third, I just wanted to throw that out there. People watch this the next day. I drop a show at midnight. So if you're watching this and you see if I look a tiny bit distracted in about 15 minutes, that's why. But anyway, let's move on. I got two more things to play here. So after WrestleMania, Busted Open was doing their show. Busted Open obviously over the Sirius XM. David LaGreca. I'm not a huge fan of the show. I'm not a huge fan of LaGreca. I'm just not a fan of his personally. That's not my thing. But I know a lot of people love Busted Open. Well, he went off on the main event of WrestleMania Night 2. He went off. The clip was all over the place.
Who is this? By the way?
David LaGreca is the host of Busted Open.
Okay.
He's a radio host. And he's a passionate wrestling fan. He's an extremely passionate wrestling fan. He was Busted Open. Currently, the hosts are like him and Mark Henry and Bully Ray and
okay.
That's the show. Okay. Currently, I think Thunder Rose is also part of it. There's Nick Nemeth and Tommy Drama, people like that. But this is what happened on Busted Open on Monday morning, right after Night 2 of WrestleMania.
When it comes to being fans, I get it. I'm a wrestling fan. But I cannot believe the same people that bitched and moaned about this guy 15 years ago, about this guy 10 years ago. He buries everybody, never puts anybody over. Now you're surprised by what we saw last night. Oh, it's going to be okay come WrestleMania. We're going to get The Rock. We got no Rock. Haven't seen The Rock since Elimination Chamber. But we got a lot of Travis Scott. Ugh. And you want to make Cody Rhodes look weak? Textbook making somebody weak last night at WrestleMania on the biggest stage that there is. On the biggest stage, you just threw everything that you did for Cody last year and you threw it right out the fucking window. For what? A guy that's going to be gone at the end of the year. But I love John Cena. Fuck you. Because all I heard was you bitch and moan about this motherfucker. And now I got to hear it on fucking Twitter, on Instagram, and people bitching and moaning, leaving Allegiant Stadium. This is what you fucking wanted this. Where's the fucking camera? This is what you fucking wanted. This is what you fucking wanted. So don't bitch now. Fuck you. Enjoy the PG era part 2. Assholes.
God damn.
Do you think that earlier video that we saw of Paul talking this is what he meant?
I don't know what this is different. This is afterwards. This is after the This is the video we saw of Paul was on like Tuesday. This is the day after Mania. This is the day after Mania.
Holy shit.
This was amazing. That was one of the best rants I've ever seen from David LaGreca. That was amazing.
Holy shit. That fuck you was from the heart and soul of his body. Twice.
And
he just spit facts. He spit straight facts.
So to follow up on this, because I didn't get clips of this because I didn't feel like doing the editing. Rock was on McAfee talking about how he was not at he wasn't at WrestleMania because he had talked to apparently, even though at Elimination Chamber, he told everybody this has been a long out story. Apparently, he told Matt McAfee that TKO board called him before the chamber because their ticket sales were low, which by the way was a lot of bullshit, but whatever. The ticket sales were low. And they wanted an idea. His idea was to turn Cody heel, but Triple H wanted Paul Levesque wanted to turn John Cena heel. A completely opposite story I've been hearing for the last month, by the way. And this is what happened. And then he goes and he actually went on this whole thing saying, and then I told them the Final Boss isn't needed anymore. I'm not going to show up again after the chamber because I'm going to let you guys tell your story. I'm not going to be there anymore. And a lot of you did not know that Travis Scott was going to be at Mania. I bullshit on that, by the way, too. And then Dave LaGreca has that rant. He ranted about again on Busted Open again about that whole thing. And Rock, I was listening to the Color Show right before we came on the air tonight. And Rock on Twitter went and told Dave to relax because everything is a work. and to chill out because you don't seem to know the wrestling business. Keep in mind, Halo Record been doing Busted Open for a decade. He's been on the show for over a decade. Is anybody? I'm not a big fan of him and his like. I'm not even a fan of his voice, but his passion is real. He knows what he's talking about, and he hosts a wrestling radio show. There's only one of them in existence. He hosts it.
I can say, Dave. His comments were similar to a lot of the things I read on the internet about how WrestleMania went, like when Cody lost, that made him look weak, that they shouldn't have done that, they shouldn't have cut Bayley.
And
that because of that, WrestleMania 41 was ruined.
Hold on, I want to say something about the main event of night 2. Okay, fine. We want Cody to look weak, but you didn't have to do this. This is what I have to say. We did not see a single crossroads on Cena. Not one. We got Cody cut. We got 2 Cody cutters. That was it. The only crossroad that was hit was on fucking Travis Scott, which well fucking deserved, but he wasn't even in the fucking match. And then, no, put the camera back on me. Put the camera back on me.
Okay, yeah. Oh shit! I throw a button. Yeah, I gotta put it back on the screen.
Damn it!
I gotta put it back on the screen.
He's invisible.
Anyway, I gotta fix that. I gotta go back and fix it. I'll do this, and then I'll fix it after you're done. Go ahead.
No. First, John Cena hits an AA. Fine. 1. Cody kicks out. Hits another one. Fine. Cody kicks out. And then goes for the super one. Kicks out. And then the 4th one. Kicks out. Fine. And then the STFU. Fine. He hits that. Cody gets out of it. Fine. Whatever. But the way he fucking won, not even off a finisher, not off of anything, a fucking title shot to the head. Most of the time when that happens, it's on a pay-per-view, not like a big pay-per-view.
On Raw. That's a Raw finish.
Or like maybe like a small
small
pay-per-view. Not at fucking WrestleMania, the biggest match, the biggest fucking show of the year. What the fuck are you thinking to end the biggest match of the card off a title shot to the head? Not even a finish. And Cody never even hit his finish. And Cody's ass was getting kicked. So how much I hate Cody, I felt bad. He got nothing in. He got like total maybe 5 moves and some offense. John Cena was kicking his ass the entire match. It looked like a goddamn 2K25 online lobby. It was that bad. Like, what the fuck?
No,
for how much I love Cena, what the fuck did I watch?
Yeah,
I was
weird.
disappointed.
It was weird.
Gentlemen, can we all agree on this, that basically the way the main event was set up on night 2 was basically to break Ric Flair's record and to put money, how can I put it, fans in the seats, and spent money and just kind of catered to John because he's retiring? I mean, is that what it was?
We get it. He got number 17. Whoop-de-fucking-do. This is what everyone wanted.
Let me say something, because this is coming from a hockey fan now. I watched Alexander Ovechkin break the most historic goal record in the history of the sport. And it was done with respect, and it was done with passion. And a lot of people don't like Ovechkin, but it was done with such passion and such, like so well done. And then I understand it's a heel character, and I get it. But to have the record broken on a finish like that,
that's what's probably pissing people off. Fine, John Cena broke the record, but you could have at least ended it off something good, not a fucking title shot.
It could have been an AA on the belt, and I don't think anyone would have been mad. I don't think anyone would have been mad about that.
Or AA on a chair, or something.
Oh, they had the belt in play. The belt was in play. You could have hit him. You could have hit him in the head with the belt. Maybe do a mock 5-knuckle shuffle like The Rock used to do a mock like people's elbow when he was heel. You could have done that, and nobody would have probably been upset about that. Because at least then it was a finishing move like The Rock used to do with the heel. And he used to do that whole mocking, I'm going to make fun of the whole move thing. And that would have been fine. I don't think anyone would have been mad about that, honestly. But I think that's the character of John Cena right now, is to not do what the fans want. I think that's the whole point.
I know,
honestly.
but it's just one of the, that was the worst way to end that match, and they actually went with it.
So, all right, we're gonna move on. We have just a bit to get to. So Bayley was on Chris Van Vliet's podcast this week. Normally I don't play specific clips on here because I don't want to get in trouble, but this clip is too important to not play. Last week, the interview was fantastic, great interview. Much like I hit all the time the interview. This is a great interview, and obviously you know me. I went on my way to listen to it. Obviously,
I wonder why.
But there was one moment in this interview, and I'm still glad somebody I said it, that I was working. I'm working listening to this, and I'm literally working, and I literally stopped short. Like, what did she say? Like, what did you just say? This is the clip of what she said. She addressed, so this is recorded on Thursday. She was pulled from the Wrestlemania match on Saturday. Obviously, the plan was in works already, but she addressed it before it happened. I'm going to play the clip. This is from Chris Van Vliet's interview with Bayley on Tuesday.
Like, what do I need to do to get me there?
Yeah, and how do you not take that personally? You know, like you're being told you're going to win the Royal Rumble, then you win the Royal Rumble, you do the point and everything,
Yeah.
and then it's like, well, what now?
Yeah, I know. It's oof. By the time this comes out, there's going to be even.
Like, what does that mean?
It's hard. It's hard. It's like sometimes I think it's my that's what keeps me here is because I don't go freaking kick the door down and be like, I'm not doing that. Why would I do that? I'm fucking Bayley. Like, why would I do that? You know, but I don't do that. I've whatever they give, and I've learned this from Cena. I've learned this from Ray. Whatever they give you is like, make it work.
Yeah.
So that's always like what I've tried to do. And I'll come up with ideas. I'll come up with pitches. And I've learned that like, sometimes if you get told whatever the creative is and you're not happy with it, and then I go and I say, hey, what if we do this instead? And then they say no. I feel worse after that than I felt with the original creative. So I'm just like, okay, how bad do I want to feel today? Like, or should I just accept what they gave me and then make it as best as I can? And then they'll be like, damn, she made that work. Like, let's go this way instead. And that does happen, especially with Hunter.
So she addressed the WrestleMania thing before it happened. By the way, that was the moment that I stopped short. And I'm like, wait, what did you? I was just like Chris. I was just like Chris in that moment. Like, wait, what did you say? Like, what did you just say? And when she said she's fucking Bayley, I'm like, whoa, where did this go? I've never heard her curse. I've never heard her curse before. I'm like, holy fuck, where did that come from? Like, so, any thoughts, guys?
I mean, it's short, sweet, straight to the point.
Actually, I'm going to go back on something that Karrion Kross said when he mentioned in this thing is being a good soldier. And that's what Bayley actually did. She was being a good soldier.
I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her.
So, I mean, will she get rewarded somehow for doing this? I don't know.
I don't know. Although I know over the Big South show, I always hit my girl Bayley, and I know this is a new show, and we have a lot of people always tuning in. I get messages all the time from the groups I'm in that new people listen to the show. Right behind me is a Bayley buddy, Stuffy, right behind me. That my friend Josh sent me right before I was going to the hospital last year for surgery. So like that's how much of a fan I am. That I love her so much that I have her right behind her on my set, right behind me on the set. So like I'm a massive mega Bayley fan. So like for me
back to NXT.
Yeah, all the way back to the NXT, went back to the Hugger days. So I when I talk about Bayley with the passion, because I love her so much. I'm not as obsessive as CJ over at the Torch. Not gonna get into that on the air, but that's just that's a little much even for me. But I say I'm a passionate Bayley fan. I have been for a long time. So when I was kind of upset when she got pulled from Mania. I'm not gonna lie, I was upset. But I feel for her. I feel for her. I really do. They better watch it because she's the only. She seems to be the only horsewoman that seems to give a shit. WWE right now, and they better watch it because she seems to be the only one that gives a shit.
It just tells me that.
Sasha. Let me answer your question. The original 4 horsewomen were Charlotte, Sasha,
Becky,
and Bayley. So she seems to be the only one lately that seems to give a shit. And that's saying a lot, as we learned the whole thing with Charlotte last week. And she's the only one that seems to give a shit lately. So
it seems to me that there's a pecking order that seems to be at times plain and easy to see, and then there are times where it's kind of hidden. So my thing is with this is Bayley's such a good talent. If you don't utilize her when you can, you never know when there's going to be another chance.
And I understand. Yep. I understand as a fan. She's won the Royal Rumble last year. She won the world title at Mania. I'm not saying she has to be in the main event all the damn time. I'm not saying that. But treat her better. Treat her better. I'm just being honest here. Okay. So that's it for that stuff. There's a massive trade of the NFL draft just now. Sorry, there was a massive trade. The Jaguars just moved up to number 2. Sorry, that just happened as I'm looking at my phone. The Jaguars just traded up to number 2. So anyway, that's an interesting move that just happened.
Okay. I'll be right back. You talk about
Wait, okay, go ahead. Okay, so we're gonna do the Raw after WrestleMania stuff, and Christian's gonna go and come right back. You can turn your camera back on and do the window like that. Yeah, but so while Christian does that, we're gonna quickly go through some of the stuff from the Raw after WrestleMania. First things first, Rusev's back. Rusev came out and attacked Otis and Tozawa. Your thoughts, Dad, on Rusev being back?
I think it's good for him to be back. I think he should be and hopefully will be utilized more than he was in AEW. And I'm hoping that creative has a good storyline for him to go to that basically I think you probably want to keep his persona as a heel and not as a baby face, because I think he's got something that he wants to prove, and let's see where that goes with direction. But I think
what a pop when he came out. What a fucking pop.
Oh yeah. So I think here's and this is my personal gut feeling is if you keep him on probably Raw, where he's going to get most attention.
I have a theory. We'll get to later. I have a theory.
I see him going after a certain individual that I did my rant on, and it's going to be one Logan Paul.
They're not on the show. Logan Paul's on SmackDown.
Oh, he's on SmackDown.
He's on SmackDown. Logan Paul's on SmackDown. He was feuding with AJ.
I see Yusuf going after a belt. Which belt? I have no idea.
Okay.
It all depends on what plans they have for him. But I see him before the end of the year having a belt around his waist.
Well, speaking of belts, nice segue. You didn't realize I did it. So we opened up WrestleMania. We opened up the Raw WrestleMania with a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match. Didn't think anything of it at the time. You know what I mean? We do this stuff all the time, right? We do these kind of matches all the time, and I didn't think anything of it. And so what happened? So we had a match, and it was the women going up against It was literally a rematch from WrestleMania. It was Becky and Lyra defending against Judgment Day, Liv, and Raquel.
Yep.
What they didn't expect was Liv and Raquel to win the belts back.
Nope.
On Monday, immediately. Good for them. But so this happened, and me and Nano were like, "What the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened?" But then after the match, this is what happened. Becky turned on Lyra and turned heel.
That's a picture right there.
So Bayley turns on Lyra.
Becky.
What did I say?
Becky.
Bayley.
Oh, Bayley. I'm actually happy Bayley wasn't in the match now. This is where we were going. By the way, I'm actually happy. Mandy said it perfectly. I'm happy Bayley was not in this match if this is where we were leading to. You know? So Becky turned on Lyra. Any thoughts, any words on this? I have a theory about this a little later.
Not really.
Okay.
I got it, and I think I know where this may be going.
Yeah, we'll get there. I feel if we're on the same page, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page with this. We'll get there in a minute.
Okay.
The big thing, one of the big things that happened was Gunther went after Cole and McAfee after the Jey Uso segment.
Well, I do want to say something about this though. He attacked Cole first, and Pat McAfee, as a great friend, went after Gunther to get him off of Cole.
Yeah, because McAfee is a former athlete and he's a wrestler. He's a wrestler as much as he is a wrestler.
Can we give McAfee some credit? He
100%.
He stood up for Cole and attacked him because he attacked Cole first.
Exactly, and I like that. I liked it a lot.
He tried, and then that happened.
So we had this happen, and they went to this whole thing happened. And by the way, for those who don't know about the Corey Graves, Pat McAfee stuff that's been going on behind the scenes, that Corey's still really bitter that Pat took the spot when they went to Netflix, then you will greatly appreciate this tweet that he put up right after the attack of laughing faces that he put up right after the attack. This is the time code on the screen. I screen capped it myself. I screen capped this myself.
Oh, damn.
This is like right after it happened. What the hell? I mean, Corey, come on. I understand you may be bitter, but you want to put fire you want to put more gasoline on this big ass fire? You know, Corey, here's the thing.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny.
When you want to start a fight like that, you're not going to like the finish.
Pat McAfee versus Corey Graves.
I want that match. I want that match. I'm dead serious. I want to see that.
That's what I'm alluding to, and I know here's the thing. It will never happen because there's no way Corey's gonna say, "Well, I'm medically cleared to take on Pat McAfee."
He is.
I know. I know he is.
He's already told everybody he is. This is not.
I know.
We talked about this 2 years ago. Sorry, the Giants are on the clock. So that's the reason I'm looking at the screen. My phone.
Okay. All right.
Trey Hunter went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I did not see that one coming. I did not see that coming. That was the Giants were going for. That was the Giants were going for. I did not see that one coming. Sorry. Anyway, right after the segment, we were backstage and Michael Cole talking to Adam Pearce. And I wish at the second part of that. I couldn't find the second part, but this is the part backstage.
Listen, take the rest of the night off. I sent Tess down there. You've been through a lot. You need to be here with Pat. You broke my nose. You might have broke your damn nose.
Listen, here's the deal, Adam. How can we do our job if we're not allowed to have opinions? We're not allowed to talk about this stuff. We're not allowed to have fun. You got to do something.
We were going to deal with this, okay? So I want you to calm down. Look at me. Take the rest of the night off, okay? Take it off.
I am not going to let some bully not allow me to do my job on Wrestlemania.
So after that, Cole did go to the commentary, and it was Cole and Joe Tess for the rest of the show. Which, can I have more of that, please? That was fantastic commentary. Like the two of them chemistry. They've never done it before. Just the two of them, and that was fantastic television. Hearing the two of them go back and forth the rest of the night. And the other thing else that came out of the show, by the way, Raw after WrestleMania went 3 hours this week, which I have zero problem with because it was that good of a show. But the one thing I will say though, Cole went on this whole tangent. I was trying to find the audio where he was on the commentary, and multiple times wanted to check on Pat multiple times during commentary. But he went on a whole tangent on how there is the disrespect that Gunther showed him and went after him when he wants to have the freedom of speech behind the microphone. And wow, the whole thing, I'm like, this is absolutely incredible. By the way, that ovation from the crowd from Michael Cole, he's come a long way over the last few years. Holy shit. That reaction was amazing.
You got to respect Michael Cole for this.
25 years. 25 years been doing it. That was an amazing moment.
So now, do I hear this right?
He can't.
Wade is replacing Pat for a while.
I've heard nothing about that. Actually, I've heard nothing about that.
Okay.
So, maybe they'll address it on Friday. Chris, you were saying something?
As I was saying, Michael Cole has had ups. He's had downs. He's been booed. He's been cheered. But right now, he's one of the best commentators right now. And oh my God, he's
in all
amazing.
wrestling. In all wrestling, not even just in WWE. In all wrestling. So the main event segment. We have to have Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman talk. Well, we didn't get much far. We didn't get really that far because CM Punk came out, and then Roman Reigns, and then they put the credits up, and then Paul's talking about this, and then Roman Reigns makes the surprise appearance, unadvertised. By the way, he was unadvertised for the show. He came out to confront, and as he was hitting his Superman punch, Braun Breaker came out of nowhere in a hoodie and speared him.
Wait. To line up for that one. No. He speared Seth, And then the Superman punch Paul, setting it for the spear, runs
spear
off.
on Paul. Sorry, spear on Paul. You're right. You're right.
He already speared Seth. Then Superman punched Paul, which is a great ovation from the crowd on that one.
Holy shit.
And then he takes off the shirt. He's ready for the spear. He's hyped up. As he's running, Braun Breaker spears the fuck out
In
of
a
him.
hood. In a hood. I was
In a
stunned.
hoodie. And give him credit. Holy shit. Oh my God.
So
he did that in a fucking hoodie. And those jeans.
This is the photo at the end of the show of Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins, and Paul Heyman. So I'm hearing things.
Yep.
You heard the same thing I heard. This might be the beginning of the new Dangerous Alliance.
Correct.
Because she's looking at us like we're fucking crazy. The Dangerous Alliance for the faction that Paul Heyman led in WCW. And it was like the up-and-comers. It was all cool people. Like Steve Austin was part of the Dangerous Alliance. It was a really cool thing. And it looks like they're bringing it back. And that's why people are thinking maybe Becky Lynch is going to be involved.
Yes.
They're going to bring up the people. I have zero problem with it. As a matter of fact, I'm excited for
Bronson
this.
Reed joins.
Well, that's another thing. I've heard Jeff Cobb might be part of this. Like, there's a lot. Bronson Reed's out. Bronson Reed's not going to be back for a while. He's literally out for a
What did he
long
break
while.
again?
He tore his ACL and MCL in both of his knees. Like, he's going to be out for a long time. But this is a big deal. This is a big deal. Like, if they pull this off, this is going to be the new faction that leads us through the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And it all started the day after WrestleMania 41. Like, this is a big deal. By the way, somebody brought this up, and you guys will enjoy this one. And you might have pointed this out to me at Mania, but I don't remember. Roman was not wearing any red outside of Duel of Fala.
No, I actually said it. He was not wearing red. He had white on.
But like, he wasn't wearing any red.
No.
And I'll look into that later. I'm sorry to show the Giants pick. I don't know who that is. I'll look at that later. Anyway, so he wasn't wearing any red. So that was the moment people realized, oh shit, the Bloodline storyline is officially over. It's over officially, because now that Paul Heyman is now aligned with Seth and Braun is starting a new faction, and there's a possibility we might get Braun and Seth versus Roman and Punk. Who for two to that one coming?
Yes,
that one coming.
Spear versus spear.
I can't wait for that.
But that's the other thing I heard too about reforming the Dangerous Alliance.
Yep.
And now you're gonna have another faction that basically is gonna run roughshod.
So Christian was saying something.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You should be no.
Well, problem is he's on a delay. I keep telling you that.
You should be very sorry.
Can you just finish your thought? We're really late.
As I was saying is, they're both going to go for a spear, and they're going to hit each other head to head headbutt collision.
Got it.
And that's they're going to bounce off the ropes and everything. It's going to the whole ring is going to fucking move. You cannot lie though. Wasn't Roman was a football player, correct?
Yes.
They're going to run off the ropes. They're going to run off like. Braun's gonna duck.
So is Braun. So
Braun's gonna duck. Roman's gonna duck. They're gonna spear each other head-on collision in the middle of that ring, and oh my god, that pop is gonna be good.
So all right. So we are so long right now. I didn't realize we were gonna go this long.
Holy cow.
We're almost at an hour 48 minutes. I see we got to the question of the week. We're going to move the Dynamite note to Sunday show.
Okay.
We're gonna move the Sunday show. It has to do with FDR. We're gonna move the Sunday show because I really went long. I really wanted to get to our questions of the week. So question of the week. Next week we'll get back to our box of cards. We'll get back to the box of cards next week. I saw a graphic that ties in with the NFL draft. And I really wanted to use it as a question of the week this week.
Okay.
And you'll crack up laughing when you see it. This is straight up from Twitter. Where did I find this from? I think it's from Fox Sports. Show this graphic, and I had to share it as the question of the week this week. And it is, which cheese would you draft first overall?
Oh my lord.
I have that.
Only in Wisconsin.
So question of the week out of the graphic in front of you, and I'll put this up on all our social platforms. I'll read it once, but I'm going to put this last one up there. The answer choices are Parmesan, cheddar, Gouda, feta, Swiss, mozzarella, Beretta, blue cheese, cottage, and goat.
Can we have?
I want answers. I want people to think this, but I want people to think this. But this is too funny.
Are we allowed to have more than one answer?
Go for it. Why the hell not?
Okay, Christian, go ahead.
You have an answer. He's too busy laughing. You answer first.
Okay, I have two choices. One is cheddar, and the other is Parmesan.
I got to pick mozzarella as my first one, obviously. Christian's dying over here. He did not expect this at all. I didn't tell you guys about this before we went on the air.
Okay.
Here's the graphic again.
As an Italian, not from New Jersey.
Dog behind.
Oh, hi, what the hell? Oh, hi, Sparkle.
So let's finish this and we'll get the dog thing here.
As an Italian, not
Okay,
from New Jersey.
that joke makes no sense to anybody else. Continue.
I know. I'm gonna go with mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
Back up, please. I was gonna put top 3: cheddar and then Parmesan.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Fuck blue cheese.
So there you go. People, please comment on this. This is too funny. I have to share it. Made me laugh.
In my personal opinion, fuck blue cheese.
So
how come I didn't see Colby Jack on there?
I mean, this is the graphic that I saw. So I can't
go
against what I found.
It didn't make the cut.
No,
no pun intended.
But goat did. Go figure. Goat cheese made it. I'm not sure how.
There you go.
Cut the cheese.
Cut the cheese. Yeah, that's it.
Christ. Let's get out of here. We're going to end the show with the brand new song by Said the Sky and Taylor Arkhorn. This is called Reminiscence.
Is his name Said the Sky?
The name of the band was Said the Sky, as I said on Spotify.
That's what it said? The Sky?
Yep, exactly. So, Christian, do your thing.
Hello. Please follow me on the Villain Zane Riley on YouTube and hopefully in the future Instagram. The Grum.
We're getting there.
And hopefully, I'm going to be streaming later for
good talk.
For I don't know how long. So stop by and join. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a blast. And I'm almost at 80 subscribers. Please help me. Yeah.
Hey, like the show and comment on YouTube and Spotify. Follow the show on all platforms. As we see on the display there. And show us that Generation Evolution 00. And you can also scan the QR code for more information about the show.
So, next week, I swear to God, Sunday, we're going to talk about TNA Rebellion. We're going to actually review this damn show on Sunday. Finally. We're finally going to get to it Sunday. I've been talking about it for a week. We're probably going to get to it Sunday. So that'll be Sunday. And then obviously we're going to talk about AEW stuff. I thought the FDR thing, we're going to move into a bunch of AEW. AEW taking themselves seriously lately. They putting up a bunch of cool stuff the next 2 weeks. We're talking about it on Sunday. That being said, let's get out of here. I'm Mike.
I'm Christian.
I'm Mark.
And you've been tuned into Generation Evolution. Have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, bye. We love you guys. Hey, and Maria, thanks again for that answer. You saved our ass.
Don't think it's just a face. Some nights I reminisce, and I miss you. Were you the one? I wonder if you wonder about me too. Seems like just yesterday was sneaking out your window. Some nights I reminisce, and I miss.
Thank you so very much. Goodbye. Mwah, and good night.